Hello, everybody. Oh, no. I've got feedback. Hang on a minute. Sorry, folks, we're having issues. Hi, folks. Just got to stop the sound on here. Where am I? I can't find. Oh, I see. Yeah, got it. But I don't know how to stop the sound. Wait a minute. Hello, everybody. I'm trying to stop the sound on my computer. And I can't see where to do it. Hang on, I've got to message Tristan. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm going to leave. There. That's better. Hi, everybody. Oh, no, it's not. Well, wait a minute. What's going on here? Whoa. Hang on. There we go. Is that better? Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness. It's those shenanigans, Steve. It definitely is. So hello, everybody. It's Lynn here, the Go Live Granny. And, oh, I was going to do this. And I'm still going to do this. But I should have done it. There we are. I just thought I'd be a bit, whoops. I don't even think I've got that on the right way around either. Oh my goodness, no, that's the right way. There we go, folks. I thought, hello everybody. No, it's still not, I can't even get my wig on right. Oh my goodness me. So anyway, thank you everybody for bearing with me. I'm using my son's account and various strange things were happening. And I had to message him. He's cooking his tea and he didn't see my messages, but his fiance did. And so she went and got him and we sorted. So we're here both on Facebook and on YouTube. I can see people coming in from both, but I'm only going to be able to use the one gadget. Let's turn that so that's not shining in your face. That's good. So wait a minute. Let me just send Tristan a message. Right, okay, there we go. All right, so let's see who's come in. Lots of lovely, patient people, very patient with me as I live stream here on, what is it? It's Sunday. What's the date today? It's Sunday the 13th of October. So it's, yeah, Sunday the 13th of October 2024, and shenanigans was starting even before the broadcast. So hello, let me come and say hello to everybody who's here. So we've got Richard coming in on Facebook, Deb's coming in on YouTube, Corey on Facebook, Steve Padge, window cleaner Steve coming in on YouTube, Kath coming in on Facebook, Tina Furnival coming on Facebook. Yes, Steve, those shenanigans, he's saying it's back, says Richard. Hi, Andrea coming in on Facebook, Susan coming in on Facebook, lots of you coming in tonight, Patricia coming in on Facebook. Lovely, brilliant. So if you think anybody else should be here, folks, those of you who know the gang that, you know, were regular viewers, tag any of them to let them know. I finally got it live. Tonight I was having issues because I was trying to go into, I'd got the code from Tristan, but I was trying to go in on my phone and I was going in on Chrome, and apparently I need to be on Safari when I'm coming in on my phone. This is all, you know, all too technical for me. And earlier on, I had set up the broadcast, and I had actually made, I'd set up the wrong YouTube account, an old YouTube account. Oh, Carol says, don't put the wig on. You can't see my lovely face. Okay, I'll let you see my lovely face instead. I did have some boppers I was going to put on, but I couldn't find them. Oh, they might be in this bag. Let's see. You know me. I do like to do something. I usually like to have something on my head. Oh, yes. Look, This is what I was looking for. Here we are. I'm a little batty. Is that all right? Will that work? So yes, so it's been shenanigans again. Can you believe it? And it shouldn't have been, because I thought it was going to be maybe deserting you, Steve, for Facebook. Oh, right. Debs might be coming over to Facebook and deserting Steve, who's coming in on YouTube. And Steve says he might do that too. So he might come over to Facebook as well. I think more of you can chat. More of you are on Facebook, but it's entirely up to you what you do. Let's see. Yes, so anyway, that's Batty. Yes, I am Batty. You know me. So, what sort of week has everybody had? I've had a brilliant week, and I've had a brilliant weekend, and I'm really enjoying. Apart from the shenanigans of trying to get live on here, I'd set up the broadcast hours ago. I thought everything was fine, and then it was, it was not quite working as it should be. And I kept trying to log in. I have to have a code, but in order to get the code, I have to ask Tristan, because I'm using his account. I have to ask him for the code. And if he's not responding, that's difficult. So anyway, he did respond after a while, but he's busy cooking his tea. He doesn't need me interrupting him while he's cooking his tea. Anyway, he then said, I kept getting a message saying Google's sending you a warning that someone's trying to log in. Well, it was me that was trying to log in. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Let's have a look. Ailey was evening. She's playing match 3. So addictive. Match 3 on what? I don't even know what you're referring to, Ailey. I apologise. I don't know. Hello over there, Devs. Hello over there on Facebook. On Facebook, and Ailey is purple bat wings. That's right, purple bat wings. There we go. Hello, Sam. Nice to see you coming in on Facebook too. So we got quite a gang of you here today. That's nice. So what sort of week have you all had? I've had a very good week, and I'm sitting on a new chair. Well, it's not a new chair, but it's a new chair to me, and it's much more comfortable. So I'm not sure if I told you that earlier in the year, when I was doing up my craft room, I decided to treat myself to a nice new purple chair. And I thought, that's it, very nice and swish. I got myself, didn't buy top of the range because, don't have that sort of money. But I bought a comfortable new chair, a swivel chair, purple. Well, you can see this one's not purple. And I got it home. And actually, I should have dealt with the thing straight away, but it wasn't comfortable. And my lovely friends who come over and help me a lot, they tried to make it comfortable for me, but it just didn't work. So it was tipping. It was tipping, and I bought. You just got the bus over from YouTube to Facebook. Okay, Steve, welcome on Facebook. I hope you had a very enjoyable journey on your bus from YouTube from the tube. Were you on the tube to Facebook? Did you have passenger assist on the way over? I hope so. And Devs is saying she's glad I'm looking happy, slimmer, and swiveling. Yes, so I am now swiveling, and I'm swiveling on a different chair. So I think last week in the broadcast, I might have told you about my chair and that I'd already purchased it, but it had not yet arrived. So it arrived on Monday. And yes, it's lovely. I gave them my chair so that I didn't have to. I gave them the old chair, which was a new chair. It was a new chair, but it was, hello, Rachel. Nice to see Rachel coming in on Facebook as well. So this chair was delivered. Look, it's a nice. Oh, it's still got its label on it. That's saying who it's being delivered to. The bus was on time. I'm glad the bus was on time, Steve. So yes. So I caught up with JD, who is the manager of the Aspire shop where I bought this chair. And he'd said to me the other day, I said, can you deliver? Because there's no way I could put this great big... I do put a lot of things on my Navy Nora, which for those of you who don't know is my shopping trolley and my walker, to help aid my mobility. But I don't think I could have put this great big chair on there. So I asked if they could deliver it. And there's normally a £5 delivery charge. But they said if I gave them the other chair, the old chair, which was actually a new chair, but I didn't want it anymore because it was too uncomfortable for me. So we did that deal, and I didn't pay for delivery, and they took the chair. So earlier in the week, I went into Aspire shop, and and I saw JD, and I said, "Oh, was the chair okay? It was not comfortable for me, but maybe it'd be comfortable for somebody else." He said, "Oh yes, we've got it up in the office." So they've got it in the office of the shop, so they're not selling it, they're keeping it, and maybe it works for them. And even if perhaps if you just sit on it for a little while, it's not too bad. But for me, it was just I felt feeling like I was going to slide off the chair. Anyway, hopefully I won't slide off of this one. And so I'm quite happy with that. Done a bit more tidying and sorting in the craft room. I'm getting there, and other things have been happening in my flat, which I shall come to in a minute. I've got some knitting to show you, and what else? I've got some papercraft to show you. Good evening, Heather, coming in from the States. Nice to see you. Ailey is saying she loved the melted snowman that I made, and she is referring to I've been knitting, and some of you who, if you watch my social media profile, you will have seen that in the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been knitting a lot of covers that go over the terrace chocolate oranges. And my grandchildren have got some fundraising to do, and my daughter thought it was a great idea if I knitted some of the cozies to go on the chocolate oranges, and they could sell them and make do some fundraising that way. And one of the patterns I had was for a melted snowman. So most of the cover was white over the chocolate orange, and then it went out into look like melted snow. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, lovely having you in here, Heather. That's nice. I hope that I don't know whereabouts in the States you live, but I hope you weren't in any paths of any hurricanes, because I know it's been pretty horrible over in the Florida area, hasn't it? So there we go. Steve says he likes the 3 woolly dolls that I made too. Well, it just so happens that, look, 2 of them are up there, and where's the other one gone? Where's she gone? Oh, here she is. But this one, so those are fairies, and this is a ballerina, but she's quite armless. Can you see? She is quite armless, and thereby hangs a tail. No, not a tail, an arm, or not. So when I was at my daughter's, I made the body. Last night I made the tutu. Late last night, like in the middle of the night, because what I did was I had a lovely day. My friends came round. We chatted a lot, and one of my friends does some DIY stuff around my house, and I don't know whether I can identify if I'm allowed to identify, and there's somebody in who will give me permission or not. If I get permission to say who was helping me, then I will. If not, I won't. I'll just say some lovely friends, because I don't like to breach those sort of things. You're in but you have a lot of family and friends in Florida. They are all well. I am so pleased about that, Heather. Really, really pleased, because it's obviously very worrying times, isn't it? So Steve's saying this is really cute. Carol's saying she's got a free ride on an old bus. She got a free ride on an old bus from the promenade to the bus museum with your 2 little dogs. A little nice treat today. Yes, there was an event going on. We have a bus museum in Ryde, and there was I think they called the weekend the White Rider, where you could get on the old buses and go round the town. I didn't go out. I stayed in. I stayed in yesterday. I do a lot of staying in now, but I do staying in because I like staying in, knitting, and I like doing my paper crafting, and I like trying to get my stuff organized, because that's a major job. So anyway, going back to the ballerina, when I came back from my daughter's, she didn't have her tutu on, but I had knitted one arm. So yesterday, after my friends had been and gone, I fell asleep in the chair. absolutely no surprise there then. And my friend said to her husband, she said, oh, I bet Lynn's asleep in the chair now. Well, she was bang on right. And so so I had a long sleep in the chair. I do this regularly, and then I wake up in the middle of the night. Yes, I wake up in the middle of the night, and then I'm wide awake. I'm in the wide awake club. And there's no point in me going to bed if I'm wide awake, because then my fingers start wanting to, pick up and do some knitting or something like that. I get that sort of thing where idle hands make like no. My hands are not often idle, as you can imagine, but I wanted to do some knitting and have it. It's like a therapy, knitting. It's so mindful. It's one of those mindful activities, and I reckon if they could prescribe it on the NHS, lots of people would have far less issues. Obviously Debs is saying she's been very shaky but determined to crochet again. Thumb strengthening. Yeah, absolutely. You cut up the front of a knitted jumper and now have to finish the crochet border. Okay, my dear. Well, let's hope that you have lots of luck and that you can get that done, because it's just so lovely being creative. Anyway, back to the armless ballerina. So I've got one arm, but I haven't sewn it on yet. And so I thought I'd make the other arm. So don't forget, it was the middle of the night, and my lights in my lounge, most of my top light, I haven't got a top light in here because the bulb's gone. I've just got LED lights in here. But the rest of my flat has got, up at the top, it's got dull, very dull lights. And of course, if you're a crafter, you need bright lights on your work. So I've bought myself several of these. So this is a lamp. This is an LED lamp on a stand, and I can move them around. So, but I did have it on, but I started knitting a second arm. But when I'd done it, here it is. When I'd done it, it was not the same colour. I don't know if you can see. It was not the same colour. And do you want to change the light on Thursday after the quiz? No, I'm not going to bother about this one, actually, because I have enough lighting in here in my craft room with that lamp, and I've got a lamp up there, so I'm fine, Susan. And in the other room, I've got a lamp where I sit, so it's not okay. But it's not, it's. I was looking for some wool. Hello, a trick. Okay, and I was looking in my bags that came back from my daughter's house, because that's where I was knitting this. And you would not believe how many different little balls of pink wool. Yes, the dolls are for grandchildren, and this one is for my daughter-in-law, funnily enough, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It's just a fun one, that. I'm fine, thank you, trick. Right, so look. I went in my knitting bag and I found this ball of pink, this ball of pink, this ball of pink, this ball of pink, and none of those were the right pink. Okay, none of them. Oh, it's Tia. Hello, Tia. None of these balls matched that dolly. But in talking to my friend who came round again today to do a bit more DIY, I was saying, Houston, I have a problem. I have arms that don't match. And he said, well, why don't... So I've done one that's the right colour, but I can't find the rest of that ball of wool. So what we think we're going to do, what I'm going to do, he's not, because he's not a knitter. Oh, Harry, I've just lost my wand on the floor. I've lost my fairy's wand on the floor. Abracadabra, abracadabra. Dear, dear. Hang on a minute. Oh, what a palaver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wool that's the nearest match to that, and I am going to make two arms the same colour. All right, rather than have two different pinks. And you know what? If I put a bit of ribbon and a bit of fluff on it, nobody will ever notice. Nobody will know. Shh, if you don't tell them, nobody will know. Promise me you won't tell. Okay, so then now she is supposed to be at my daughter-in-law's house for tomorrow. My daughter-in-law and my son live in the north with the 2 little grandchildren, and this is not going to be there tomorrow. Even if I put wings on the fairies, I don't think they'll still be there for tomorrow. But you know what? The way things are with me these days, where I would have beaten myself up for not getting the birthday card and the presents in the post on time for the birthday, these days I don't. Because I was so ill and I recovered, you know, fortunately from, well, I was very close to death in 2022. Now I view things with, she will like it when she gets it. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to make myself ill, rushing to do things, you know, and trying to and take the pressure off. So once I decided, well, I'll do it as I get it done, and then I'll post it, then that's okay. And she won't mind. I will sing to her happy birthday tomorrow. I will do a video call with her tomorrow. I will probably put on my happy birthday glasses and my happy birthday hat and pop her some party poppers for her. But this is for my about to be daughter-in-law. These were for my little grandchildren. So these are fairies. Okay. And in the knitting book, let me show you. This is the book they came out of. This lovely book is the book they came out of. And let me show you the fairies in here. Whoops. Oh, that's where the missing wand was. It's inside the book. I knew I had another wand. So this is that's the fairy pattern I used. Okay. Now she's got wings, but she's got very, very chunky wings. I think you can see better on the next page. Look, her wings are very chunky, and I think they're far too chunky. So in one of those boxes behind me, I've got some net and some lace. So I thought I would put lacy wings on these. These are fairies. If they have lacy wings, you'll know they're fairies, won't you then? Maybe. And so they're going to have lacy wings. And I might do a little necklace for them. And because I have... Oh, so wait a minute. I've shut the book and I was going to show you something else in the book and then I shut the book. That's not very helpful, was it? So you can see that she has a wand. Well, that's a knitted wand. And I happen to have some little wands. And I decided, what's the point in knitting a wand if I can give these fairies these wands? But these wands had very long, handles on them. But because my friend, my handyman friend was here today, I got him to shorten them for me so that my little fairies can have them. So I'm going to attach them to the fairy dolls. I might just attach them with an elastic band so they can take them off rather than always have them on. They might want them to take them off. And so what do you think? I mean, nice sparkling. Oh, look, that one matches my fingernails, doesn't it? Oh, look. And this one, there we go. Hello, Tom from Ipswich. Tom Taylor from Ipswich is in the house, coming in on YouTube. So that's what I've been up to today and the recent days. And as I say, in the night I was doing the ballerina. You think it's an excellent idea. More glamorous wands, absolutely. You know, that's it. Abracadabra. Oh, is it a magic wand or is it a fairy? I don't know. Anyway, I got my friend to do an extra one. It is more glamorous. They are more glamorous than knitted ones. I thought they were much more glamorous, and then I thought that I would. You love the red fairy. It's actually not red. It's a sort of a claret. Well, that is a sort of red, I suppose. Now, that's right. I had made another fairy that I showed you before, but her head didn't look quite right. Now, nobody will know if I give her away to one of the projects I do. Nobody will actually know. But what I'd done, let me go and get her. Let me show you what happened. I was very critical of my own work. Hang on a minute, I'll get her. Don't go away. I'm coming back. But I have to get past all my bags of craft stuff. Hang on, folks. Hang on. Whoops. I'm coming back. I'm on my way. Woo-hoo. I'm coming back. Oh, here I come. Back from my other craft room, my lounge. My whole house is a craft room, actually. But anyway, so this was the original. This was the original fairy I did. And then when I started making the second one, whoops, this one, I looked at them and I thought they don't look the same. But what, look, her head is much bigger, look. And what I was going to take this apart and do that. And I think one of you, I think it might have been on here on the broadcast or something, somebody said, no, don't, nobody will know. Well, they will know if if the two go to the same household. But what I decided to do was, rather than unpick it, what's happened, I didn't read it right. And I should have made, whoops, I should have gathered this one here for the neck, but I gathered it lower down and it should have been higher up, so there shouldn't be so much head and the hair should be more forward. You got the heating on, I've got my heating on as well. There's a history story, the McCloud fairy tale from Harris. All right, okay, mother and daughter. Oh yes, it could be mother and daughter fairies, but so what I decided was that whoever said it to me, nobody would notice. I thought, well, actually, I'm not going to take it apart, this one. If I give this one, I make things for Embracing Age charity, and they give presents to dementia patients at Christmas who like little dolls and things like that. So they wouldn't know. No, you know, most people wouldn't know what I'd done wrong, but I'm very self-critical of my work, and so I wanted. But so that one will go with the charity donations. It might go to that, or it might go to a tombola for some of the children, that sort of thing. So I decided to take her over there. She can go to, and I, in the time that I took to undo her, I could halfway make another fairy, because these don't take me long to make, as long as I do it right and I've got the right wool. So I then made this. No, I'd already made this one, and I made that one. I found that I wanted to do them both sparkly because I do like sparkle. Did you notice? I love sparkle. So I found when I got back from my daughters, I found some more sparkly wool. Look, she's got sparkly hair, and she's got sparkly clothes, and she's got sparkly silver hair and sparkly clothes, because you've got to have a lot of sparkle. Debs reckons that this one is this one is Edwina. A big Ed or a big Ted? Oh, she's got a big Ed. Oh, I see. Very funny. Yes, she's got a big Ed. I like your humour. Very good, Debs. So anyway, so these are going to have a little bit of. So they're going to have wings. So let me just see. I don't know if I can lean over here. I've got some bags on the floor in the way, but whoa. Oh. In that, no, this isn't the right thing, but in that box that I've just looked in my Kallax unit over here, I've got all sorts of shiny and sparkly fabric, and there'll be some sparkly lace in there. So I shall have a look and find some lace, and I've also had a whole drawer full of lace and ribbons and all sorts of trimmings, but they were in a place that wasn't very accessible for me to get to. And now I've rearranged it, and I bought the new, some of the Kallax units and all these drawers and things. I'm getting it all organized so I can access it. And I took all those bits of ribbon and things, and I've put them in one of those boxes there. So I will be able to put little ribbons on their shoes maybe, and that sort of thing, and whatever. So that's some of my knitting work going on. While I went in the other room to get Big Edwina, I came back with a chocolate orange. Look, a Terry's chocolate orange, and I'm not tempted to eat it because I'm on Slimming World. and I don't want to put weight on. I put weight on last week. Don't know how I did it. Oh, yes, I did. I'll tell you that in a minute. So this is a Christmas pudding cover, and I've got some little holly pieces that I could put on that are not knitted, you know, just embellishments, or I can knit some holly and some berries to go on there. And then when I was digging through my drawers to sort out stuff, I found a chocolate. Here's one I made earlier, or somebody made it. Either somebody in the either in the GoliveGranny community or before, or it might have been me. There was another chocolate orange cover that will come out for this year. I find all sorts of things in all sorts of places. And Ailey's saying she spies an octopus. Yes, you do. And I've tucked his. You might spy 2 octopuses. Is that octopi or octopuses? So these 2, they'll be going to East Cowes in November, over to the pavilion there, where Jane, who runs the charity over there, their sort of emblem, it's not a logo, but their emblem is octopuses, and they're having a crafting event. No, they're having an event, fundraising event, and octopuses is what it's all about. And octopi, is it? Debs is saying octopi. Okay. Oh, what sort of pie? I didn't have octopi for my tea. I had, what did I have? Oh, I had cauliflower cheese. And I'll tell you about my recipes in a minute. So this was one I made when I was at my daughter's, and then I finally finished it off when I got home on one of those occasions. And this was another one I started at my daughter's, and I finished that one off. And then some of you will have seen that a long time ago I started a crocodile. When I was doing the green campaigning for the Green Party, I started knitting green things. But I got part way with my crocodile, and I hadn't sewn his tummy up. There was a hole in the, you know, ready where I put the stuffing in, and I hadn't sewn it up, and I didn't finish his legs, his little legs. He's got to have a mouth on him as well, obviously, but I didn't do all that because I ran out of wool, this colour wool, with only a little bit to go. So what I was going to have to do was, if I couldn't find the matching wool, I was going to have to undo a couple of the legs and make the legs two-tone green. So I had to undo a bit of what was all this, you know. I'd already done 3 legs this colour, but I reckon that I could negotiate the wool, jiggle the wool around to make two-tone green ones. Well, I found the right wool. So I will be progressing and hopefully finishing that. This is part of my PhD, projects half done. And hopefully that will be done soon. And I've got a little crocodile that I need to finish as well. So over here we've got some Halloween-y items because I was paper crafting at the Isle Access charity, and we had a Halloween workshop on Friday. And I did wear my boppers to the Halloween workshop. And we had some new people coming. We have got some new people coming along and joining in. It's not just craft. It's a hub where people come, have a chat, meet new people, have a cup of tea. Some of them have biscuits. I usually have fruit. Jan's very good. She brings in fruit because we're doing Slimming Well, so we like that. So those are some of the things. This is a gift box. You know, the lid comes off. The same with those. They're gift boxes as well. And then you might see over the back, whoops, there, behind me, there's a little pumpkin and a little cat. There should be a big spider as well, but I don't know. I think the spider's gone beside Miss Muffet. I don't know where Miss Muffet is, but obviously the spider's over there because I can't find it. So anyway, so it's all a bit busy around here with crafting. So you have a few things going on, so you may go. And yes, hi to Steve from Ipswich, your hometown. That's Tom saying hi. Wait a minute. Steve said, can I knit a glamorous drag queen doll? You love drag queens. I don't know. If I could, anybody can find me a pattern, I can follow a pattern, but I'm not very good at making them up myself. So if somebody finds one, maybe we could. We'll see. I do like a nice challenge. So you can never have too much sparkle, says Rachel. She's been listening to me. That's one of my favourite phrases. You can never have too much sparkle. And I haven't got my Crocs up here, but I've got silvery Crocs, silver glitter Crocs. And wherever I go, people are always saying to me, "Oh, I love your Crocs. Did you paint them yourself?" And I said, no, that's how they come. Well, this week or so back, I see that Crocs have brought out some pink, this sort of pink, cerise pink, or a bit lighter than this, Crocs with glitter on. So I want some of those. They've also brought out some red ones with glitter on, but I don't think I can afford 2 pairs. I'll just have to have one. And see how I get on. Maybe Santa will bring some for me. I don't know. Ailey believes in Santa. Do you believe? Do I believe? Well, if I don't believe, then I don't get any presents. So, what do you reckon? Anyway, so what else has been going on in my world? Oh, yes. So Slimming World. This week, not so good. Last week, I lost 6 pounds. The week before that, I had a gain. And the week before that, I had a gain. But the week before that, I lost 6 pounds. So it seems to be when I go to my daughter's, I come back and I've lost 6 pounds. And I wasn't getting my head around it. Today, I scanned some of the things that I thought were free items, and they weren't. So I had some cottage cheese today, and I scanned it, and it was 2 sins. And I scanned the one I had the other day, or the container from the one I had the other day, and it had no sins. So you can see how I can get so easily confused. Well, one of them was fat-free, and one of them wasn't. And if I'm not careful, that's where the extra sins are coming from that might be putting me on the weight. You're not sure if your nephew still does believe. He's 12 and just started secondary school. He did believe in Santa earlier this year. Yeah, and even 12 is pretty late, isn't it? So anyway, I always told the children, well, if they didn't believe, then don't bother hanging your stocking up. And they always hung their stockings up. Your friends Janet and Jean and Joyce and Alien, hey, hi. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all joining me today on this Sunday evening. And anybody who's not, it's nice that all the people on the live are saying hello, but what about those coming in on the replay? If you come on the replay, so basically in the future after I've done the broadcast, put replay in the comments, and then I will know you've been, and it will give me a message that you've been in, and I will drop you a comment, because that's always nice, isn't it? So yes, so busy week. I've had a very enjoyable week. I went to my coffee morning. I go to the library on a Tuesday morning where there's a Living Well campaign, and I think I was going to get the bus down, and I think it rained on Tuesday. Was that right? Something happened, and I didn't get the bus, and I ended up not rushing around, but getting a taxi down, because it's not very far, so it's not a big taxi fare. And so sometimes I do that because sometimes I'm tired, and it just helps me a bit not to be too tired. So nice coffee morning. I had a lovely chat there, lots of lovely people, lots of new friends from there. And that was good. And I linked with the people from the Time Bank there who had had the coffee morning the Friday before. And they're always there on a Tuesday, trying to promote the Time Bank. You can't remember when you stopped believing, but was devastated. Oh, bless, who told you Doctor Who, John Pertwee at the time, was from another planet. Oh, right. Oh, dear, Steve. Life can be very cruel, can't it? So, yes, what else have I done this week? So Slimming World. When I went to Slimming World this week, I popped on the scales before I went, because I wanted to know whether I was up or down before I went. And the fact that I put 6, so the week that I lost, as I say, 4 weeks ago, I lost 6 pounds when I was at my daughter's. when I came back that next week, I put on 4, and I couldn't understand it. How do I lose 6 there and 4? And I'm thinking, I thought I was doing the right things, but obviously I'm not always doing the right things. You didn't see me in Iceland this week. No. Did I go to Iceland this week? I did go to Iceland this week. Yes, Carol and I usually see each other around Iceland or in the street. But before you get to Iceland, we've met there several times on a Tuesday. I think I was later, Caroline. I think I was later this week. I think I stayed in the library chatting to somebody for quite a while before I came out. Everybody else had gone, but some of us, 1 or 2 of us, stayed and chatted longer because it's nice and because we can. So I did go to Iceland, but I didn't do a huge shop this week because I didn't need a lot of stuff, and I took it home. I didn't have a delivery this week. I actually took my own shopping home. I didn't get frozen stuff this time, so I wasn't, didn't have to hurry to get it home into the freezer. Hadn't got much space in my freezer, so I've got a lot of apples in my freezer because my brother gave me a load of windfalls. So I've cooked up the windfalls and I put cinnamon in them, but 300 grams counts as my B choice on Slimming World. So sometimes I have nuts, sometimes I have hi-fi bars, sometimes I have apples, and there's a lot of apples to get through. And I thought I had finished all the apples, and then I went to my fridge and I thought, oh, what's this in the salad box down here? I bought some of those bags, those bags that stop your fruit and stuff going off so quickly. People were recommending them to me because my fruit was going off quickly, and I bought some of those. And before I went away, I gave a lot of my windfall apples away because I was going to be away and I hadn't got time to deal with them. So my neighbour had some, and so I put some of them in bags, and I tucked some of them in the bottom of the fridge, in the fridge box. Sorry, I'm sliding off this chair. I don't know. It's more comfortable, much more comfortable, but I'm still sliding a bit. I don't know why. What is it? It's maybe it's my bottom. Let's take that chair off. That might be better. I've taken the cushion off, but I don't know. I bought a cushion to go on the other one because it was so uncomfortable. I bought this is one of those honeycomb cushions that molds itself to your bottom, and look, it's one of those honeycomb type things, and I thought that might help with the old chair, but it didn't. But I've taken it off now because I think it's making me slip a bit. Anyway, that'll be all right. It's not a problem. Whew, it's warm. It's warm. I think my heating's up too high. Hang on a minute. The thermostat is just there. I'm just going to go and turn it down because I'm roasting. But it is Sunday and we have roasts on Sunday, don't we? Except I didn't. I had cauliflower cheese. Oh, yes, the heating's up way too high. Whoops, let's turn it right down. There we go. That's it. Save the pennies. While I'm warm, I need to save the pennies. Oh, I found a card I'm making on the floor. There we go. That's it. So, gosh, it's suddenly very warm in here. So I think I'm tipped back a bit here. Ailey is Scottish Gaelic for Helen. Yummy, you love apple picking. Right, I didn't pick the apples. I was given the apples. And so, yeah, so that's that. So what else have I done? Oh, so yesterday, my friends that I haven't seen for a while, and as I say, if they identify and say it's okay to mention them, I will. But if not, I'll just say my friends because I don't know if they want me to do that. And I was so excited. Some people get excited by huge amounts of money or huge gifts and that. I get excited by what happened to me yesterday. I told you in earlier broadcasts that my dishwasher had broken. And I told you that I wasn't going to buy a new one because it was about £300 for new washing machine. No, dishwasher, sorry. My washing machine's okay. It was my dishwasher. And I didn't want to spend £300 on a dishwasher. And so now I can stand a bit again. I can't stand for a long time, so I'll do a little bit of washing up, but at least I can stand and sort of balance. Hi, Donna. I can stand and balance a bit to do some washing up, a little bit. And then, so I decided I would do my own washing up. And as you know, I make the scrubbies now. I knit the scrubbies to do the washing up. And there's a little tale about that, because I had a pattern for scrubbies, and it was on A4 sheets of paper, and it's disappeared. It's in the flat somewhere. It would not have been thrown away, but it's disappeared. And I wanted to make the round scrubbies. And so eventually I was tidying up in my bedroom, and I found a ball band from a ball of wool. So it's off. This is off the Wendy Wash Knit Aran for Pots and Pans. So it is off the ball of wool. Come round the ball of wool. And I went to throw it away the other day. I thought, what's that doing on there? I'll throw that away. But on the other side of it is a pattern for the round scrubbies, and also for a fish wash mitt. So this is the pattern I've been using. And very stupidly, I have not put it safely in a better condition than this. I need to put it somewhere safely, because I went to use it. I went to do it. I went to make another scrubby, and I couldn't find this pattern. And I'd only been sitting in the same place, but I do have wool here and wool there and bits all around me when I'm working like that. And I couldn't find it. And my friend Kath wants to make some of these. And I said, well, when I find the pattern, we can do it. I actually thought I probably could remember in my head how to make it without the pattern. But I was annoyed that I couldn't find the pattern. And I thought, well, where I looked in the bag where I thought I'd put it. I thought I'd tucked it in a pocket of a bag. It wasn't there. It wasn't anywhere, except it was, because I got it in my hand. And tonight, I was sitting in my chair, and I just looked on the work surface. I've got a set of drawers at the side of where I work, and just on the top of that was sitting there. Have you ever done that? Looked for something that's right there and you don't see it, and you look everywhere, and you look here and you look there, and you turn the place upside down, and there it is all the time. So now I have it. I have photographed it, and my friend is going to print that off. So anyway, I think I might write it in the back of my diary, that pattern. So lots more scrubbies, because scrubbies are very good for doing the washing up, and I like making scrubbies. Steve says it's back up to close to 20 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, right, okay. Ailey used to go potato picking back early 70s every October. Well, that's different. I've never been potato picking. I don't think I've ever been strawberry picking either, or whatever. So never mind. We all do different things, don't we? I did blackberry picking. I used to do that across the road, because the blackberry bushes went wild. They shouldn't have been there. They were on a patch of grass that's across the road that should be mowed and kept nice. And it was abandoned. Well, it wasn't abandoned. There was just nobody was doing it, and so the residents picked all the blackberries, which was nice, but we'd rather have it as a nice area to look out on. I'm not overlooked. It's right opposite my house. So that's really nice. But I did see a man there. I saw a man the other day, and he'd got an iPad, or a gadget, and he was doing something, and he was looking at this patch of grass, and I thought, I hope you're not going to do anything about building on that. But I don't think they can. I think there's apparently a very big reservoir under there, or big tank sort of thing. And it was there's a community centre next to it, which is not being used as a community centre. And I've tried to get it back into community use, and the councillors are working on getting it back. But it's been one of those long old processes. So I'm just leaving them to do it, and I'm just getting on with my life. But I did start the ball rolling, and poke the councillors into action to try and get something done about it. It would be really nice to have the community centre as a community centre. We could have I could go and teach some knitting over there, or I could, we could have coffee groups and things over there. So much could happen, and all the years are going by, and it's just not happening. But anyway, maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's not worth worrying about. You know, life is too short. I've got other things to do, other fish to fry. So, yeah, so that was that. Anyway, other things, the birthday card that should be arriving with the birthday person tomorrow, along with the ballerina, is still sitting on my desk. And let me show it to you. And I don't think it was for the surprise, because I don't think she watches anything on Facebook. So if she does, well, she'll see it. You've grown potatoes and lots of fruit and other veggies, but nothing lately, sadly. Can't beat homegrown fruit and veg. Yeah, and when I was well and doing my front garden, I had, the first year I did it, I had cucumbers. I grew baby cucumbers. I couldn't believe it. They did so well. The second year I put cucumbers in again, they did so badly I didn't get one cucumber. But the year before, the yield was massive. I was going out there and picking loads and loads of cucumbers, those little baby ones, and they're so lovely. But no, anyway, my garden is another thing. I'm not spending a lot of time on it because I can't do it I can do bits. I put a little bit of weed. I go out for about 5 minutes. Whereas in pandemic, I was out there all day, making it look beautiful from what was once just a patch of grass. So anyway, let me show you this card. It's a wow. It's a mantelpiece. One of those showstopper cards. So it will all fold up. I've got to work out how it's got to fold. I've got all the fold lines in it at the moment. So it's going to have a nice, on that shiny bit there, it's going to have a nice sentiment of happy birthday or something like that. And then different bits and pieces along. And then it will all fold up and it will go in a 5x7 card envelope. So it actually will go into an envelope. But I've got all the score lines and I haven't worked out how I actually fold it up. I was partway through doing it when I had to come, I had to stop and go and go and get jelly for my hat. I like jelly. I love jelly. And my friends who come round, I found out they like jelly. And, we're not eating cake or anything like that. So I make jelly. So I made 2 jellies yesterday and then forgot to give them jelly. But one of the friends came back today because I was telling you about my kitchen. I'll tell you why he came back anyway. But today I said, don't go without having some jelly. So he had his jelly and I had mine, and I've made some more jelly now. So I have the one that's got low calorie, low sugar. So that's good. So so this is a design by Sam Calcutt. Any of you paper crafters out there? I know that Heather's a paper crafter, and I know Carol does a bit of paper crafting. Some of you do. And Sam Calcutt she's got a business called Made to Surprise, and she does lots of things. And this actually came from this. So this goes through my die cutting machine, and that's how it comes out. So I've actually put 2. You could have just half of that card would make a nice card, but or you can put them together to make what she calls a showstopper. There were lots of different variations, and I was watching her tutorial, but I didn't get to the bit as to how it all folds up. Heather's saying she loves Sam's things. Absolutely, they're just so beautiful. What else did I have? I've got quite a few of her things now, and I noticed I'm probably going to put there's 1 or 2 more I want to order tonight because they're on offer, and I think the offer finishes tonight. So after the broadcast, I need to get that order in, or I won't get them, and then I won't buy them because I don't like buying everything at full price. If you know anything about me, you know I like a bargain. So yes, so that's that. I've also got a card to do for my son. It's his birthday this week as well, but I'm afraid his might be late too because I was doing other things like talking to my friend who came round to help me with the chores. So yesterday both my friends came, husband and wife, and I haven't seen them for a while because they've been off the island, and then I was off the island. We were playing box and cocks and not seeing each other. Hadn't seen each other for ages, and so we're having a meet up yesterday, and while they're here, he usually does some DIY stuff for me because I'm not very good. I can do some things. I can put the furniture together, but if there's a little bit where I'm stuck, then he'll do things like that. And but what had happened, I was telling you, my dishwasher went wrong, and I decided I'm not going to buy a dishwasher, not going to pay £300. I bought myself a fancy dish drainer that is really good, and it's got all sorts of, you can put lots of different dishes that you can put. It's got bits this way and bits that way, and it's got hooks on the side, and it's got all sorts of different places. You can put the cutlery in here, you can put the cutlery in there, and it's a really good dish drainer. And yes, it cost me £45, but it was off Amazon, and I thought it was far better than spending £300 buying a dishwasher. And as I say, I don't stand and do all my washing up all at once sometimes because I can't stand for that long. So I might do half of the washing up and then half of the washing up later. Just have to do what you can do, don't you? You have to play to your own strengths. So Ailey's saying, does anyone know how Yvonne is doing? I hope Yvonne is keeping well. Please send her regards. Funnily enough, yesterday, my friend and I were chatting about Yvonne, and I said, I haven't seen or spoken to her for ages. And she commented on something on my social media page today, so I messaged her and I said, how are you doing? And I said, we must catch up because we used to regularly catch up with each other. We used to see each other. She used to come over here. Her husband would bring her here, and then she'd spend a day crafting. He'd go home, and then he'd come back later in the day and pick her up. But because she lives in Ventnor, which is sort of, it's quite a distance. It's not that far, but on the buses it is obviously more difficult. Hello, Elizabeth. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. And so, and then when Yvonne's husband couldn't bring her anymore, once or twice I went over to Ventnor and we met in the cafe right by the bus stop, so I could go. We could have our lunch, and then I didn't have far to go to get back on the bus to go home again. And we sometimes met up with Pauline, who also lives in Ventnor, who's part of the GoliveGranny community, and who loves Crave ice cream. Don't we all? Crave is an ice cream shop in Ventnor, and they make all their own ice cream, and it's amazing. Yvonne had done a lot of knitting for your support team centre charity shop. Excellent. Well, lots of people have done lots of things, haven't they? So yes, so as I say, my friend and I were talking about Yvonne yesterday. So when I saw her pop up and make a comment on my Facebook page today, I messaged her privately and said, we really must catch up, because once we weren't seeing each other much anymore, and then of course we had COVID and all that, and then I was ill obviously and couldn't make the journey over on the bus to her. What we did a lot of video calls, and so I said, we must do a video call this week, so we're going to try and catch up. And when we do a video call, we do a long video call, like an hour, 2 hours, something like that. How time flies when you're having fun. So anyway, she's had flu, but she's okay now. And her husband's a bit better than he was, according to what she said today. So that's all good, isn't it? So that was nice to catch up with her. And so back to my dishwasher and my washing machine. So as you look at my sink, you can't because you're not in there and you can't see it. But if you were able to look at my sink, my washing machine was under my sink on the left-hand side. And no, sorry, my dishwasher was there to the left-hand side. Is that what I said? And my washing machine was to the right of the sink. Well, to the right of the sink where the washing machine was, then next to the washing machine, the worktops came round the corner over like that. So that made it difficult when you open the washing machine. I was having to lean over the washing machine to put the washing in, or try and squeeze round the other side of it because the door opened that way. So when my dishwasher went wrong and I decided I was going to get rid of my dishwasher, I thought, well, why don't I have the washing machine put where the dishwasher is? Because then I would be able to access it more easily, because the door would open. I could get round it better. You still wash dishes by hand, Ailey. Well, I'm washing them all by hand now. Anyway, so, but we couldn't move it until the dishwasher was hooked from the water. And so my lovely friend is a man who can. And so yesterday he unhooked the dishwasher. And at the moment it's standing in my lounge because I'm going to get either the council. I've got to see how much the council charge me to take it away, or I know one of those men who comes and takes the stuff away, and I'll pay him to take it away. If the council, well, I'll look and see whatever's the cheapest option, obviously. So at the moment it's standing in my lounge, but it's got no water in it because it's been drained. So when that job had been done, I was dancing round my kitchen last night. You cannot believe, I was saying to you earlier, some people, huge amounts of money floats their boat, or, you know, a lovely yacht or a huge house. What floated my boat big time yesterday was the fact that I could access my washing machine without having to double over the top of the door to try and put the stuff in. You would not believe how happy I was last night. It was lovely that I'd had a lovely day doing my knitting, doing my crafting. My friends had come round. We'd have a good old chinwag because they were not on any deadlines. Often when they come, they then book a stop to the tip. And often they've taken lots of rubbish away from my place for me to the tip. So they usually book the tip off when, you know, and in the day when they're coming to me. And so they are then have to rush off and take the stuff to the tip. But they didn't have a tip run yesterday. So that was really nice. And we sat and we nattered and we chatted and we nattered. And then there's all these little jobs around my flat that some I've wanted. You know, I thought, I mean, and I've there's never been, Patricia's saying that the council will only collect from curbside. Well, there's no way I can get the dishwasher down the stairs on my own. So I better get Ace Waste to come and do it. Patricia, thank you for that, because Ace Waste are very good. Fairy washing up liquid. Maybe my fairies will do my washing up, but I don't think they will, funnily enough. So Elizabeth saying, Ailey, she still does. Elizabeth still does her own washing up, and her daughter-in-laws, while they're in a house with no kitchen, they're waiting for their kitchen. Oh, what a nightmare! What a nightmare that'll be. The little things, Lynn, that make us happy. And you know what? I had got in my kitchen. So in this craft room, before I started tidying it up, there was loads of, actually there's stuff on the floor again, but it's only because I'm still sorting and I've put it down there to sort it. But at one point there was so much stuff on the floor and I couldn't get to the cupboards that were there before. And so I bought myself some trolleys to put the stuff off the floor onto the trolleys, because then when I wanted to get there, I could move the trolley, because I've got to make life easy for myself because I can't do a lot of lifting. So, you know, use your brain to save your feet and save your back and everything else. So I bought some trolleys and a lot of the craft stuff was on there. Well, then at one point I ended up with a couple of those trolleys. I bought about 4 or 5 trolleys in the end, just to move stuff around so that I could play a game of Tetris. You know, if I want to go there, I need to move that there. And if I want to go there, I need to move that there. And so I had these trolleys. They're really, really useful. Long time no see. How am I doing? Hello, Chantel. I am really really well. Thank you. Thanks for joining our live stream. Right. So, and Carol's saying, yes, make sure you get rid of the machine before you get my stair lift, as it might become difficult. Absolutely. I'm going to I'm going to message Ace Waste tomorrow, or I'll send a message in the morning, and I expect they'll come and do it. They often have a run to come up they go to the block of flats across the road sometimes. I'm not quite sure what they do. I think they've got some sort of deal where they come and pick up rubbish from there. And so if they're doing a run up there, it'll be quite easy for them. But I'll get in touch anyway. Thank you, Carol. And so, yes. So what's happened is that these trolleys actually ended up with tins of food on them, because I didn't have a lot of storage space in my kitchen, and I've got tins of food on these trolleys that were now sitting in the kitchen. But my kitchen is very small. It feels like ages since I watched a live. Well, never mind, you're here now. Isn't that lovely? So nice to see you. Chantel and I know each other from quite a while ago. Nice to see you. Anyway, what was I going to say? So where the washing machine has come out and been put where the dishwasher was, there's a cupboard in the corner, and I can't get in that cupboard very easily. It's going to be one of those cupboards where I think, only the stuff you very rarely want but don't want to throw away goes in that cupboard. But these two trolleys that were in the middle of my kitchen floor. Don't forget, my kitchen's only a tiny part of. I have a kitchen, lounge, diner, craft place, whatever you want to call it. Just one room, but in one corner it's the kitchen. There, in this corner, there's my seat where I sometimes broadcast from with the rainbow drawers and things down me. So that's like a craft collection. Then the other side is, or will be, when I've finished sorting all the stuff, has got two sofas in it and would be a nice entertaining area if ever I get all the stuff put away. So these two trolleys were on my kitchen floor. And as I say, my kitchen's not very big. So we tried. You might be coming to the Isle of Wight for a dog show. Can't wait. Oh, excellent. Sorry, and Chantel, I was muddling you up with somebody else, but I've unmuddled my head now. And yes, you've been in my broadcasts in the past quite a lot, haven't you? That's right. Sorry, I was muddling you up with another Chantel, I know. But there you go. Anyway, nice to have you here. Now I've remembered who you are. So in this space, I envisaged that I could put these two trolleys in the space where the washing machine was. But actually, if you try and push them in like that, they've got swivel wheels. And they're too close together, so they were catching, and it was going to be a nightmare trying to get them in like that. But I was not defeated. They are on wheels. They are easy to move. So I pushed one in. I pushed them in sideways, and that one, and they stick out about an inch, or hardly anything. They don't really stick out. It's not a nuisance to me, and it's much easier. So I've got my vegetables on one of them. Night, Steve. Nice to see you. You have to go now, heading back home from your Alfies. Okay, no problem, Steve. Nice to have had you here. And so, see you next week, Steve. And so I've got vegetables on one, and I've got a lot of tinned food on those now. And Sam's saying his friends Jean and Janet and Joyce and Aileen say good night. Good night, everybody that's going now. And those of you who are not going, quite feel happy to, feel like you're perfectly welcome to stay, which is good. So I put there, and you know what? Suddenly, in the middle of my kitchen floor, I do have a small chair like this, just a very small swivel chair. See you next week. Hugs and kisses. There we go. I have a very small office chair that I think one of the family was getting rid of, but it's ideal in my kitchen because I especially when I was really, really ill and, still trying to make myself a cup of tea or something, I could sit there and I could swivel across to the kettle and swivel across, because it's not a very big area, and it's great. And I can sit and reach one side of the kitchen and the other side of the kitchen while still sitting on the chair. So that and the bins I've got in there, but otherwise it seemed so big all of a sudden, my kitchen. And I was doing a happy dance. Well, figuratively speaking, I was doing a happy dance. And those are the things that float my boat. Somebody being kind enough to move my dishwasher, uncap my dishwasher off and move my washing machine. You'd have thought I'd won the lottery last night because I was so happy. And I'd had such a lovely chat with them. Mr. Handyman was doing his busy handyman things, but he was obviously in on some of the conversations, but he wasn't always in that room. And my friend and I, we chatted and we put the world to rights. We talked about all sorts of things, and we had a really old chatter, and they didn't have to dash off and take stuff to the tip like they often have to, and it worked really nicely. And I had such a lovely day yesterday, and then today the handyman came back because he wanted to make sure that the water wasn't leaking, because he hadn't been able to secure it as tightly as he wanted to. So he came and did whatever he had to do under the sink. I wasn't to go under the sink last night in case I knocked anything and we had water spewing everywhere, but we didn't, and I didn't have any desire to go under the sink, and so that's all sorted now. And then I had another little job. So I've got, I know I've told you before, I can swivel it. Wait a minute, let's pick you up. What year was Rod Stewart on the island? I don't know. Sorry. Look, so can you see, whoops. Oh, can you see these little boxes? Well, my handyman friend has fastened them onto the side of my Kallax unit here. So outside this door, just here, is my landing, and on my landing is a bookcase, and on my bookcase there's a big blank space. And so I have got him. He has very kindly today put me up the little tiny ones of these. I've got a thing, I think there's 12 or 16 of them, and he's fastened that to the end of the bookcase because that's dead space. It's up there on the side of a bookcase, and so I've got all these bits of craft things to go in all these little boxes, and so he's done that for me. So I'm a very happy bunny again today. And also sorting out, I inherited some cupboards that are in my bedroom, and I really wanted wardrobes. I wanted hanging space. Well, I thought of buying wardrobes, but then you've got to get rid of the stuff you got. So that means paying somebody to take that away, and then paying to get some new ones, and then paying delivery for the new ones. That's a lot of money. When my lovely handyman friend said to me, I could put you some rails there that you can hang your clothes. So he's had a look today and measured up. So he's going to put, and it will be a fraction of the cost of buying some new wardrobes. And then I can pick up all the clothes that are not hung up, that are just in a pile, and hang them in the hanging space in the wardrobe. I am very excited. Can you tell? As I say, these things, I've lived in this flat since 2011, and there are lots of little things that need doing, and I sit patiently, and I can't stress about it. If I can't do it, or I didn't have the money in the past to have things done, I couldn't get people in to do it. But I'm very lucky when I have friends who will help now, so I really appreciate that big time. I love their company as well. And tonight, after he'd finished doing the bits and pieces and measuring up, we sat and had a natter, and we put the world to rights a bit and told each other a few stories about things that's happened in the past, good or bad. And it was just nice. It's nice to sit and chat with friends and just sit and chat. I think some of us have always lived life in the fast lane too much. You need to take time to smell the roses, as they say, which is another way of saying slow down. It doesn't mean go out in the garden and smell the roses. It means slow down and take your time. So, that's it. I don't know when Rod Stewart was on the Isle of Wight. Google it, Ailey. It'll tell you. Rod Stewart's concert on the Isle of Wight, 2017. You obviously have Googled it. I don't know. I'm not a great music lover. I like classical music, so I'm not interested in Isle of Wight Festival or all that, so I don't retain that knowledge. But there you go. And I've got no ticker bars going across the bottom today with any information. But if anybody wants to vote for the Isle of Wight in the Wanderlust competition, then you need to go to wanderlusttravelawards.com. I don't know if anybody can type that into the comments. That would be good if you can. Wanderlusttravelawards.com. And if you go to the voting section there, in section 9, it says, who's your favourite for the most desirable island in Europe? And on that list is the Isle of Wight. And it would be lovely if lots of you could vote for it. Now, I was on a campaign to spend a lot of time getting people to vote for the island. And then I decided, do you know what? I want to get on with my knitting. I want to do my crafting. I do not want to spend so much time just promoting the island. Although I love the island, it means that I wouldn't be doing my knitting and I wouldn't be doing my crafting. So I have promoted it some, and I'll just do it a bit like this. But at one point, I was going to do it non-stop to make sure we got the #1 slot. But you know what? Sometimes you just change your mind on what you want to do. And that's what I decided, that I would rather do things that please me, that please my family, that please local charities, and please my friends. That's what I wanted to do. And even if I had done that and we got the #1 accolade for being the #1 island in Europe, I still wanted to just do my own thing. In the past I've loved doing all those things, but life is changing, and I want to make the most of every minute, because we don't know how long we're here for. I am planning something for next year with my family. I must message my daughter actually, because I'm planning something for my family when it's my birthday. Next year I'm going to be 75, but to me, the best way of spending my birthday is having my family all together, and I wanted to do something for them. But I've had to involve my children. I couldn't just do it to spring a surprise, because I needed their help on it. So that, I've had to involve them and find out what dates they're available and whether we can do this and what the options are. I'm not going into all the details because it's a secret at the moment. In your next life, you will come back as an octopus so you can knit more for charity. Absolutely. If only we had 8 arms, Ailey, just think how fast we could knit. We're fast knitters anyway, you and I, but think how much we could do if we were octopuses. Trouble is, I know what would happen if I was an octopus. I would end up, you see what a muddle I get my wool in anyway these days, don't you? So if I was an octopus, I could imagine that the wools would all get knotted and all in a total mess, all knotted up. So maybe not an octopus. What about that stupid levy? Has anyone else taken up that baton? No, Carol Ann, they haven't. And you know what? Again, I'm not sure how much I will fight it. I really hate corruption, as you know, and they are so corrupt. And I really wanted to get rid of it, but I just again decided I don't know whether I'll take up that baton. We've got 2 years before it goes to reballot, and if some of the people who are running the businesses would work and with me and do some of it, then I might do it. But do you know what? Those people are still going to be corrupt, and they're still going to do their damnedest to make people pay a levy that they shouldn't have to pay, that actually pays their wages, and they don't. That's what it's all about. So I don't know. The jury's out at the moment as to whether I do much more on it. If there's something simple that I can do, I have started. I did have a long conversation with somebody recently who I thought needed to know, and if I can have those conversations with people while I'm out doing something else or while I'm at a coffee morning, then I will do that. But I'm not giving up my retirement, what's left of my retirement on that cause at the moment. That's how I feel now. Maybe next week I might change my mind again, but you know what? I want to enjoy what I'm doing and I am. Debsy's saying she's just finished her crochet. Thumb is sore now. Exercise class tomorrow, so you better rest now. Night, night. But well done on doing the crochet. That's brilliant. Fantastic. You need to... right, yes, Carol's saying I need to find someone to pick up the baton from me. I could supply a huge amount of information, and I don't mind working to a degree on it if somebody else would take the lead. Absolutely. So, you know, we'll see. That's right. So, hello, Hazel. Hazel's just come in from Australia there. She's coming in on YouTube. Nice to see you, Hazel. You know, we've been here an hour and 19 minutes, so there's a lot of replay for you to see if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I've been showing my knitting. I've been showing some paper crafting, been talking about all sorts of things. And those of you who watched Strictly, I'm not going to say who went out in case any of you have not seen the results yet. But without saying, those of you who have watched the results, is there anybody who doesn't want to know because of the results? Without saying who went out, those of you who watched it, do you think the right person went out? And I say, yes, I think the right person went out. I think the dance-off wasn't necessarily the right two. You finally watched tonight, did you? Okay. So did you agree, Elizabeth, with the result? I did, but it's always hard, isn't it, when anybody goes out, when especially those people who are maybe not dancers or not as supple, because some of them are a lot older than others, but you know, they give it their all, and it's great entertainment for us. I mean, you know, it's, as you know, it's my favorite program, mind you. I'm coming very, very you liked both of them. Yeah, absolutely. I'm enjoying very much I've forgotten what I was enjoying. No, Garden Rescue is becoming a favourite program of mine. I love watching them transform gardens into beautiful, bland, horrible gardens into beautiful things. And I was very inspired the other day with a garden, and I spoke to the time banking lady about it and wondered whether something like that could happen in my garden, but involving community members to help with mental well-being and all sorts of things. Because what they did, and I don't know if any of you watch Garden Rescue, but earlier in the week they did a reclaim garden. Oh, Elizabeth loves Garden Rescue. And they did a reclaim garden. Did you see the reclaim garden this week, Elizabeth? Because they had a path. Now you see, I've got a lot of weeds coming through. It was a patch of grass, and then I put a membrane down to stop, you know, to try and stop the weeds. And then I had pots all over it, and I gardened till I had no ounce of energy left. I mean, you know, I gardened so much in the first year in COVID, and then I submitted the garden to Ride in Bloom, and was lucky enough to get a nice certificate saying I'd done well. Actually, not only did I get a certificate, I got a nice piece of glass with it engraved is the word. I was going to say embroidered, engraved, Ride in Bloom, and it was lovely. And then the second year, it was Jubilee, and I had a Jubilee part of the garden and won a certificate on that. So sorry, I'm got a bit lost my thread there. And then of course I was seriously ill, and then it all went to pot. A pot garden, pardon the pun. It went to pot. Then some of the pots have gone, and I was going to get rid of it and try and, you know, do something about having it all leveled off, but all that sort of thing is expensive. And then I thought, oh well, maybe we can do some time banking it. Some people can come and help me in my garden, and I can help them with their social media, or teach somebody to knit, or do these other things, and swap our time around. So I was going to do that. But when I watched Garden Rescue earlier this week, and Elizabeth said she didn't see it because she's got some personal issues going on that are taking her time, and I wish you well on those, Elizabeth, because I know it must be very tough for you at the moment. And Ian's just come in and says he's seen his video clip on it's on the Go Live Granny community page, isn't it? Elizabeth says she likes a community garden. That's right. So so with this garden that they did earlier in the week, they reclaimed stuff. I don't think they'd got a huge budget anyway. I'm not sure, but the people wanted a recycling garden, so they did the paths with things like some reclaimed bricks. So part of it was like a patchwork quilt. So they would have some bricks in that bit, and then they'd have a bit of cement with pebbles in it, and then they'd have some tiles, some old community tiles, and things like that. All different sorts of reclaimed materials made the pathway. And I thought, oh wow, that would be good in my garden. But maybe we could do it like a community project where we were helping people's mental well-being and doing different things, and maybe could grow some food, to give away to some of the community. I don't know. Anyway, I spoke to it. I was so inspired with it as an idea. And the time banking lady loved it, and she said, I think that there's a project there to be done. So, we might thrash something else and do it, but I don't know. I don't know how it would work, but it just seemed a great idea to me at the time. I think we need more people posting on the website. Well, no, Ailey, the website's not working at the moment, is it? Is it? Can you get on the website? I don't think it's there at the moment. And Tristan has been so busy with his own issues. I am going to have another website, but it's going to be a much simpler one. And I'm not pushing Tristan at the moment because he's busy. He's busy doing, getting his own ducks in a row, or not, as the case may be. Did you say? I saw a funny the other day. I don't know if you saw it. It said something about. I don't think I've got my ducks in a row. Something about not having my ducks in a row. In fact, I don't know if I've got ducks. I think some of them are pigeons. It was just so funny. It made me laugh. My share page. Oh, yeah, on my page, yes, on my own pages. So yeah, that was good. So what else? So what have we got this week? Tomorrow I've got to go into town. I've got to go and get a little bit of advice from the Citizens Advice Bureau about something personal, but hopefully I can get the right information on that. And Tuesday I will do my coffee morning. Oh no, I can't do my coffee morning. That was the other shenanigans that went on this week. So Tuesday and Wednesday, Amazon Prime Day. Heather saw that saying about the pigeons in a row and the ducks in a row and the pigeons. It was very funny. It really tickled me, Heather. That's why I shared it with you all. So so shenanigans. How could I forget the shenanigans with Amazon? So what happened was Amazon Prime Day, Tuesday and Wednesday. And I saw something that would make my life easier in my bedroom, a storage type thing for all my jewellery. And it was on Amazon. You couldn't buy it from the shop, the suppliers that actually made it. You could buy other jewellery containers and things from them, but not this one. And this would tidy up all those bits. I've got necklaces here and bracelets there and earrings here and hair clips and all sorts of things all over the place. And I am so trying to get my flat into a nice tidy area. Blink and you might miss it, but anyway, we're trying. And I just decided that this was on Amazon Prime Day. It had a good reduction on it because, I don't like paying full price. And so I went for it. Now, bearing in mind, I'm an Amazon Prime member, and you pay for Amazon Prime so you get your orders quickly. Now, it used to be next day delivery, but these days, next day seems to be the next day after that. So it seems to be at least 2 days before you get your stuff. And so I'd ordered this thing, and the paperwork, the email came through, and it said we will be delivering, or expect your delivery on Friday. So I was expecting my delivery on Friday when on Thursday up popped a text in my text area on my phone, and it said, "This is Arrow XL. Never heard of them. And you might have heard of them, and I have researched it, but it said, this is Arrow XL. Click on this link to get your to arrange when your Amazon order is going to be delivered. Well, I've watched so many of the scam programs that's what the scammers do. They say click on here, and they 9 times out of 10 they guess that people are buying things off Amazon, because so many of us do. I thought it was a total scam. So there was no way I was clicking on anything there. And then I messaged Tristan, because obviously he knows far more about these things than me. And he thought it might be a scam. But then we did, yes, it was 8th and 9th. It was 2 days, Ailey, the sale. Anyway, eventually I went all over the Amazon site, and I found a chat bot to talk to, who was not giving me, when you go on Amazon and you ask a question, there's never the right question that you want, is there? So you can't get the right answer because the right questions aren't there. And so it was a nightmare trying to find, yes, 8th and 9th, that's it. A question, it was a nightmare trying to find anybody to talk to find out who Arrow XL were, and was my order coming on Friday, or was it coming by Arrow XL, and I didn't know. Well, long story short, so what I did, I managed to, yes, I was talking with a chat bot on, on Amazon, and then it said, do you want a phone call? So I clicked on that bit, and it's, so yes, I wanted a phone call. And so almost straight away, the Amazon number connected me. I didn't know it was Amazon ringing, and I was very suspicious, obviously, of this number that was ringing me that I didn't know. But I thought, well, it might be Amazon, because I've just pushed to say, I want a call. But of course, I was not on my phone screen on my phone. So by the time I'd got rid of the pages I was looking at and come to the phone screen, the phone had hung up. How good was that? I mean, it was only, seconds, but it's hung up. So then it said, I think it said request another call. So I requested another call, and another call never came. That didn't work either. But somehow I did find out that Arrow XL was a delivery company for Amazon now. It would be so nice if Amazon put these things out where you could see it and know it's not a scam. Anyway, so I agreed, and so it wanted you to. So I knew by this time, and I'd spoken to Tristan again, and we'd verified that we thought yes, it was genuine and not a scam. Always check before buying on any websites. More so before. Yeah, absolutely. I don't go on any of them. Andrew's saying, hello everyone. How are we all doing? Well, we're discussing the hashtag bad customer service from Amazon at the moment. Or my personal bad experience. So so I clicked on this. I did click on this link, and it had got my details on there, and it said, it got my name and a tracking number for my parcel, and it asked me to put my postcode in. So now, knowing that it was genuine, I put my postcode in, and it said, we can offer you these choice of dates for delivering your Amazon order. Bearing in mind I ordered it last Tuesday. It said, and I'd had an email saying it was coming on Friday, and it didn't come on Friday. So this was I think this was Thursday or Friday. It said, we will deliver. You can choose. You can choose from these dates when we deliver your order. Tuesday, the 15th of October. That's one date. There was only one date. You can choose from these dates. That's one date, and that's the day. Tuesday's the day when I go to my coffee morning. I don't have regular things the rest of the time. Tuesday's that. So I messaged and said, I don't think I could do this date. And they messaged back and said, well, the next date is Saturday of next week. So that's a week and a half after I ordered it, when I'm an Amazon Prime customer. I want an Amazon Prime refund. So So I was not a happy bunny, as you can imagine. So I said, okay, book it for the... let's go for the 15th, because I want this thing before I'm too tired to remember I even ordered it, you know. And I want to be using it, want to just tidy the stuff up. So I did that. And then yesterday and the day before, I had a text from them, from Arrow XL, saying, you haven't booked in your delivery slot. So I think, oh, what's happened? So I go to the site again, and there it says on the site, we are delivering your goods on Tuesday, the 15th of October. So which bit of you haven't booked in your delivery are we talking about now? So the next day, same thing happened again. You know, you have not booked in your delivery. So I go back to the site, have another look. We're delivering your goods on Tuesday the 15th. By this time, I'm very irritated. #bad customer service, Amazon. So I get onto Twitter, and I'm going to call it Twitter because I don't believe in calling a company X because it's so stupid. You can't X. You can tweet, but I don't believe you can X anything. It's silly. So anyway, I'm going to call it Twitter because you know exactly what I mean. So I tweeted, Amazon help, #bad customer service. I am not happy. What are you going to do about it? So I got a response, and I was asked to send a direct message with the information, which I did. And I haven't heard any more since. And that was about 2 days ago, I think. So that's not a very good customer help service, is it? So I am not best pleased. You will check the websites, and you have a scam block. That's good, Ailey. So at the moment, I am hoping that my parcel is coming on Tuesday. I'm hoping it might come in the afternoon. Now, what they say is that the day before your delivery, they will message you with a delivery slot time. So if that slot was afternoon, I could possibly go out to my well-being group. But if not, I'm not going to risk it. Not going to risk it for a biscuit. So I won't do it. I won't go out. I'll have to stay in. But anyway, we will see what happens. And I will let you know next week whether my parcel came, whether it came on time, whether it was any good, etc. I'm not holding my breath over this. We shall see what we shall see. So that was that. In other good news, I did some lovely cooking yesterday with my... I had a cauliflower to use, and those of you who watch me regularly know I'm doing Slimming World, and you'll know that my weight yo-yoed. I took off a lot, but I did get up to 3 stone 3.5 pounds off. And then this week I had a 6 week gain, a 6 pound gain, and I really struggle to understand where the 6 pounds came from, because I'm very good at doing a lot of the right stuff. But anyway, something must have happened, or sometimes I think your body's changed anyway. We've been discussing this, that it fluctuates anyway. I'm not losing sleep over it. I am still a lot lighter than I was, and I feel better for it, obviously. So but I obviously was checking everything, double checking everything, and realised that the cottage cheese I'd bought had to be sinned because it wasn't fat-free, and I thought it was fat-free, and so I'm just having to double check myself now. But anyway, I know, because I popped on my scales today. You're not supposed to keep popping on your scales, but you know what? I can do what I like. It's my life, and it's my body, and it's my scales. And so but I'm not as I say, I'm not beating myself up over whether I lose or gain weight. Obviously, if I lose it, I'm happy, but I'm not very sad if I don't, because I know that it's just, one of those things. So I know that I have lost weight over the weekend. So long may that continue. And cauliflower is one of those things that's very good at helping with that. So I had this lovely big cauliflower, and I went to blitz it. Oh my goodness! Anybody got a good way of blitzing a cauliflower? I've got the big, I think it was a NutriBullet, like the big super. It's a like a food processor, and I put the cauliflower in there, and it did a little bit of that, and then it didn't do any more. I'd cut the cauliflower all up, but I wanted it. You had to take it down to the sort of tiny bits like that. So I put it in a different gadget that I'd got, the small NutriBullet. I put in one bit at a time. That didn't work. I ended up with bits of cauliflower all over the place, because every time you take the lid off, more bits will spill, won't they? They get everywhere. In the end, I decided to just chop it small, and put it in the dish. I had to put it in the microwave first, and then I had to put it in a dish to put in my tabletop cooker with all the other things. And it was delicious. It was absolutely lovely. It was called a cauliflower pizza. So you're making the pizza base with cauliflower, and that was really nice. And then it's got peppers on it and ham and all sorts of bits and pieces. But there was far too much cauliflower. I'd cut the whole cauliflower up, and there was far too much cauliflower for me for that event. So I'd left the rest of the cauliflower sort of covered up in a dish. So today I had to make something to use up the cauliflower, so I didn't waste it. And I was going to do the same again, and then I realised I hadn't got enough eggs. I'd only got one egg, and you needed more than one egg for that. And then I looked up another recipe, and that looked like I hadn't got enough eggs. But in fact, what I did, I made cauliflower cheese tonight, and I was supposed to do it with grated cheese, but I'd got some cream cheese, and I measured it out, because under the Slimming World you have to measure your cheese and weigh it and whatever. So I used that, but I didn't have I don't think I had enough. Oh, I didn't have enough yogurt. You put yogurt in it. Didn't have enough yogurt, but I did have some cottage cheese. It was the one with sins in it, but I counted the sins, and I put the cottage cheese in, and I put one egg in. There should have been two. One egg, and then I used the yogurt as well, and I used a little bit of milk, and it was lovely. Try grating it and use the stalks for soup. I will try grating it, but my goodness, if I grate it, it's going to go everywhere, more than it went, I think, now. Cauliflower has that habit, doesn't it, of getting all those bits, all explosion over the kitchen. Anyway, I have to say that I sort of made my own cottage cheese recipe tonight, and that was cooking, and I ate it during the Strictly results tonight. So I did all that, and I put some extra bits in it that wasn't on the recipe, but that doesn't matter, because you're allowed to do those things. So that I did that. I've eaten half of it, and I've still got half to go, so that's very nice. So I've got another meal there waiting to be had. You made Slimming World pizza with Weight Watchers wraps before. Excellent, Andrew. That's nice. And Ailey's saying something about nuts. Wait a minute, I've missed a bit. Right, hang on. Right, so Andrew's saying he tries and gets anything he orders on Amazon via his Prime account for the next day delivery. That's all right, but I pay nearly £100 for Prime delivery, and it's going to be a week. That's not okay. And it's not okay that I can't really have a conversation with anybody about it. It's too difficult. But anyway, it seems that if you tweet and you put hashtag bad customer service, they will respond. That's what they did. So I don't know. I've got to look now and see if they've responded any more to my direct message. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I'll update you. Halloween and Christmas is very tempting to eat all the nice things and nuts, says Ailey. Absolutely. But you know what? I'm finding that I'm not going hungry. I'm very full, and I have the, there's some sweeter things. I do have the Muller Light yogurts I like. And then I like jelly, so that's nice, and things like that. I'm not craving chocolate. I used to eat a lot of chocolate. I'm not craving it at all. I'm not going hungry at all either. It's just, and I mean, I'm loving experimenting with the food. Some days when I'm tired, I'll just want to do something quick, like a jacket potato with beans or something like that, and some salad. But on another day, I never spend more than an hour from prep and cooking. If it took more than an hour, I'm not interested. Usually I like to do something that's about half an hour, because when I want to cook, I'm hungry and I want to eat. One of the things I found that was quite good, which is why I got no eggs left to put in this thing. I boil. I usually boil up you know, 6 eggs. If I want to snack on things and I'm not quite sure and I don't want to be naughty, if I've got hard-boiled eggs in the fridge, that's a good thing to snack on. But if you haven't got them there ready, then it's difficult. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing, and that's part of my secret. Carol made a chocolate mug cake using cocoa powder, coconut flour, sweetener, and a little cream. Oh, that's good, because I have I have a wheat intolerance, so I don't use ordinary flour, as you know, Carol, because that's why I was going into that shop looking. I was asking you where I could get gram flour from, and of course, gram flour is chickpea flour. And I met Carol in the high street, and I said, "Oh, you don't know where I can get gram flour, do you?" And we were standing in front of the vegetable cart, which is a greengrocer's, but it has all these. An Indian family run it, and it's got all these wonderful rows and rows of spices and all sorts of things, including gram flour. So I was very grateful to Carol for pointing me in the right direction. Then I went in the shop and I looked all along the shelves and I couldn't see it. And I said to somebody, "Where's the gram flour?" And there it was, a huge yellow bag right in front of me. I don't think I was expecting to see a huge bag. That was it. And I don't know if I was expecting it to be in a yellow bag. I don't know why I had an expectation of what colour bag it would come in. But, you know, I'd missed it. But they pointed me to it. So I still got a lot of my gram flour left. Jelly on a plate, wiggle, wiggle, jelly on a plate. Absolutely. There's no jelly on the plate now, Ellie, because it's all gone. Ellie, it's all gone. I had some and my friend had some. But there's now some more jelly. I've made some more. There's some in the jug in the fridge, so I say. Anyway, folks, I'm getting tired. I've done a lot of nattering. You've done a lot of chatting with me, which is wonderful. Lovely to see people in here. I'm getting quite excited about these Sunday nights, and maybe next week I could get in without shenanigans on the getting in process. So I'll have to remember that I need to go on Safari, and when I set the broadcast up, of course I'm using Tristan's account, so I had to link my pages, my Facebook page and my YouTube, to his account. I had to set them up in his account, and inadvertently I set up a YouTube account I once set up that has got 1 subscriber. So when I was just about to go live, I thought, this doesn't look right to me, and I was able very quickly to actually add in the correct YouTube account, which is why those of you on YouTube could get in. So anyway, people are starting now to say night because it's time to go. I've got to finish an order that I think, otherwise I'll lose some bargains I wanted. Well, if I lost the bargains, then I wouldn't buy. But, you know, anyway. So Kath's saying night, Patricia's saying night, and everyone take care. Carol's saying she saw a recipe to make Turkish delight using jelly. Not tried it yet. Well, when you have tried it, Carol, I'd love to know how it goes and whether it's worth it, and whether then I could have the recipe. So we'll see. Ailey says she always looks forward to seeing me, Lynn, on a Sunday night. Good night from Scotland. So good night, everybody. Thank you for coming here again. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a wonderful week, and all being well, we will be back here next Sunday. I've got another trip to do to go to my daughter, but that's not till November, and I was trying to book that today, and the prices are double what I paid this week and last week. So I've got to see if I can find a cheaper way. That's even with my rail card. So I've got to try and see if I can get that down. I've got to play around on the computer and see what I can do. Anyway, night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And, you know, as I say, have a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you, you know, all next week. Stay safe. And try and have a fun time if you can. I know it's not always easy, but you know, life is what you make it. Try and go on the positive side, even when life seems tough. Try and think of some fun things, just 1 or 2 fun things. That's how I got myself through. But you know, that's easier said than done. But you know, that is what I would try and do. Anyway, if you can't be good, be careful. Absolutely. Night, everybody. See you soon. Good night, Andrea, and everybody else. Have you got white link? Yes, I have, Carol. I have got, but when I book my train, I book it all the way through it as one, as one complete booking. I don't need to book the white link separately. It's all part of the booking, and I usually go on the hover anyway. So it's all, you can book it all in one. So that doesn't make it, unless you were asking me about white link vouchers for another reason. If you want a code, I could give it to you because I'm not using them. So anyway, night. Speak to you all soon. Take care. Oh, I've got to exit. Wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, now this is different. I don't know how I've got to end the broadcast. Wait a minute. End. How do I end this? This is doing something strange. Oh, there we are. End the stream.